Hello there, Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis from the Lakeport branch, and today I am bringing you a brand new book haul of lots of historical fiction, a music memoir, a thriller, so we have some variety here. Before I jump in, I just want to let you know that you can order any of these for free using the link down below to the library catalog. You can just copy and paste the titles or author names directly into the catalog, and all of the results that we have for that book should show up, like ebooks, audiobooks, book on CD, all of it should be there. So make sure to check these out and put a hold on them. They are new, so you'll probably have to wait a little bit, and make sure that we have your updated information so we can notify you when your book arrives at the branch of your choice. So let's jump in. First, we have Three Sisters by Heather Morris. This is the author of The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which was just multi-million bestseller, so many copies everywhere. It did really, really well. So this is actually the third book in the same series. So I don't know if it follows different characters from the series or what, so I don't want to spoil anything for you. But this book follows three sisters who were imprisoned for years in a Nazi camp in Germany. And apparently it touches on what courage really consists of. That's the theme of it. Stories coming from the World War II time period often showcase a lot of strength of character in the midst of the darkness of that time. And that's the purpose of that book. A testament to the endurance of love and humanity under the darkest possible conditions. The original book focuses on a Slovakian Jew who was imprisoned and forced to work on tattoos on his fellow prisoners. And he would work to smuggle food in by selling the valuables of prisoners who had already died, because he was just trying to save the life of the people who were still living. So sounds really intense and sad. So that's book one. Book three is about the sisters. If either of those sound good, you can order them for free down below. Three Sisters is available on ebook and audiobook. Next, we have Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone by Diana Gabaldon. This is book 9 in the Outlander series, which you might have heard of because Starz did a TV show adaptation of the series. I don't want to get into spoilers for book 9, but book 1 I can tell you about without concern. So, book 1 follows Claire Randall, who is a nurse in World War II. This is the year 1945. She has just finished with her duties and she is reuniting with her husband, and they are heading off to Scotland for a second honeymoon. So romantic, right? Well, one day when she's exploring, she walks between two standing stones. There are these circles of standing stones all over the United Kingdom, and she walks between two of the stones and suddenly, poof, she's in a different time. Suddenly, she's in 1743 Scotland, and this is around the time of one of the Scottish rebellions against the English, so there's all kinds of fighting going on. So much so that she thinks she's in like a period drama at first. She doesn't realize that she's actually in a different time. She's like, oh, I just must have stepped into a period drama. That is not the case. She eventually figures it out that actually, no, she's gonna have to find her way back home somehow through all the fighting. And that is her goal for the rest of the book. Get back home to my husband. Thankfully, she is a nurse and she understands like how herbs are in the wild and which ones will help with healing and stuff like that. Because otherwise she would have like no currency to get around throughout 1743 Scotland, right? She'd be totally useless. So she's actually kind of a pleasure to follow. Claire's a very knowledgeable, wonderful heroine. This book is a mashup of romance, and it's not PG romance, just FYI, and sci-fi time travel, because obviously she time travels to a different time, and there is some discussion of that. And then also historical, because you get a lot into the politics of the period throughout this series. It's a really fun series. I've listened to the first 3, and they're great on audiobook. Just the accents are fun. If Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone or Outlander sounds good to you, you can order them both down below. Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone was published in 2021 by Dell, and it is available on ebook, audiobook, book on CD, and Playaway. And Outlander is probably available on most of those as well. Next, we have The Lincoln Highway. This is a new book by the author of A Gentleman in Moscow and Rules of Civility. And this one is going to be a historical novel set in 1950s America, and we are following a young 18-year-old Emmett Wilson, who was working in a juvenile work farm for the last 18 months for involuntary manslaughter. Now he's returning home to his home state in Nebraska. The warden gives him a ride home, and lo and behold, 2 of his friends from the workhouse have stowed away with him and the warden. They have plans for Mr. Emmett Watson. He doesn't actually have anything in Nebraska that he wants to return to, except that he wants to pick up his 8-year-old brother. So they get the brother. There's nothing else there for them. No parents, no property. And they decide they're heading to New York. This book takes place over the course of 10 days, I believe. It sounds like an adventure, and it's told from multiple perspectives. All of my friends are talking about this on YouTube because A Gentleman in Moscow is a really big favorite among booktubers. And also, it's a #1 New York Times bestseller, just like, by the way, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Home. I think we're detecting a theme here. Christopher really likes to order like the most widely read, high interest books for you guys. Now, The Lincoln Highway is also available on Playaway and book on CD, ebook, audiobook, and large type. And it was published in Random House 2021. Oh, and also a whole bunch of other things chose it as important, like Barack Obama, the Washington Post, Read with Jenna, book club pick, a New York Times notable book, etc., etc. It's a big deal. Next, we have The Storyteller, Tales of Life and Music by David Grohl. Now, this is an American musician who got his start joining the band Scream at a young age. He took the place of the drummer, and later Nirvana. And then he became the founder, lead singer, guitarist, and primary songwriter for the alternative rock band The Foo Fighters. So this is a musical memoir, and he wrote it himself. And he even penned the little blurb kind of introducing the book. It was a #1 New York Times bestseller and named one of Variety's best music books of 2021. Among other things, it's an Audible favorite as well. It's probably available on audiobook through the library. I apologize, I forgot to check. Oh, and apparently he's also a filmmaker. The Storyteller was published by Day Street Books in 2021. And finally, we have Better Off Dead by Lee Child and another child. Andrew Child. And also already a #1 New York Times bestseller. So this is a Jack Reacher book. Now listen to this hook line. This is great. Digging graves had not been part of my plans when I woke up that morning. Good hook. Why are you digging graves, sir? What is up? So this one begins with Reacher. He's run across an Army veteran who just turned FBI agent. She is mysteriously in the desert in her car, and it looks like she's run into the only tree in sight. And he's like, how did that happen? But it turns out appearances are deceiving. That is not what happened. Really what's going on is she's looking for her brother, and the people that he has disappeared amongst are kind of dangerous. So Mr. Jack Reacher decides to get involved, even though this is probably the dangerous thing he's ever done, and that's saying a lot, because if you've read the series, he does a lot of dangerous things, I'm guessing. Because if he gets involved in this case, it's kind of the kind of thing where it's like, if you do it wrong, you're better off dead. And I'm guessing that's why it's called Better Off Dead. It's so dangerous to be alive if they find out that you're like a snitch or something, or like a turncoat. Sounds thrilling. If it sounds good to you, you could order it down below. Better Off Dead is available on ebook, audiobook, and book on CD, and it's published by Delacorte Press in 2021. That is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this book haul. I hope that you find your next great read here. Let us know in the comments down below if you order any of these. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you want to make sure you see more videos from us, and hit that notifications bell if you want to be notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks so much, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.